Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. My name is Jennifer Waters, and I am here live at CNY Fertility in Syracuse, New York, otherwise known as Sibyracuse. We call it that because it's usually freezing up here in so many ways, not just the weather. Anyhow, it's a nice sunny day today, and thank you all for joining. Thank you all for your interest in how to improve your health. At some point, as you ascend up the ladder, which is what I call aging, ascension, you will make your health a priority. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when you're in your 20s, you really don't care that much unless you have something chronic or acute. And in your 30s, if you've been pretty healthy, you can ignore your health. In your 40s, maybe not so much. In your 50s, you can't. In your 60s, it's the point of no return. You can certainly make changes, but it becomes a priority. And the tradition of Chinese medicine is all about prevention. You know, in the old days, this is going back thousands of years to traditional Chinese medicine, the acupuncture herbalist would get paid if you were well. If you got sick, the practitioner didn't get paid because it was their job to keep you healthy, which I think is pretty interesting how far things have come and changed now. We've come a long way from that model because we only really go seek out help when we're not feeling well, right? So it would be nice if we could start changing that paradigm so that we did regular self-care things in order to prevent sickness. And there's lots of good things that you can do. My number one thing that I focus on every day is purification practices. What are we actually purifying? We're purifying our mind and our thoughts to overcome negativity. We're purifying our glands, organs, tissues, and cells. What are we purifying them of? Well, toxins, exogenous toxins in the form of hormone disrupting smells, those stupid things that people are hanging from their car mirrors. I absolutely can't stand that. It used to be, 1 in 100 people had one of those. I think they were cheap and they thought, I'll just get that new car smell and put it in their car. Well, unfortunately, whatever you breathe in through your nose is going right into your brain. And the brain is an important center in your body. People are coming in all the times with headaches, brain fog, confusion, cognitive issues. This is a big part of what can influence your brain function, which is exogenous, meaning from the outside in toxins. So whatever you're using, folks, try to make it organic, try to make it clean. Let's get back to the basics with apple cider vinegar. White vinegar for cleaning, hydrogen peroxide based stuff, more natural companies like Seventh Generation. Whatever you're washing your dishes with, you want to make it clean because this is ultimately going to be going into your body, and whatever products you're using. There's some good apps out there called Think Dirty and some other ones that you can literally scan the QR code on the product that you're buying and it will tell you if it's poison or not. Let's face the facts here, folks. We're being poisoned. So we're going to try to minimize the poison. So what does this have to do with your ovaries? Well, first of all, let me tell you, so I'm an acupuncturist and a certified light therapist, and I work with different herbal remedies as well. Not are all herbs, but nutrients, micronutrients is what I like to consider them. So a synergistic approach for how can we repair your endocrine system. It's really important now more than ever because infertility is so common now. When I got involved almost 20 years ago, thank you, Dr. Kiltz, it wasn't that common, right? It was very few people talked about it. And now it's quite common. And what is the number one thing that people are coming into the fertility clinic with? It's PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. So there's two kinds of PCOS, right? There's the glucose dependent, and then there's the adrenaline dominant. So find out if you have this diagnosis. I want you to find out. Try to go inside and ask yourself, is this related to my diet? Am I eating too many carbs? Am I eating refined sugars? Is this related to that? Or am I stuck in fight or flight all of the time? And I am in adrenaline dominance pattern, which would be, grinding your teeth, hard to relax, difficulty falling asleep and staying asleep, feeling stress all the time. One little thing happens and you're jumping. That's adrenaline dominance pattern. And this is a very common pattern. It's not your fault. I don't want you to feel like you've done this to yourself. It's very easy to get into these patterns, and it's hard to change the nervous system. It has to be invited to a transformational experience. And this is part of why I like light therapy, because light is that invitation into the nervous system to, hold on. Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. I did not realize I have been rambling on Instagram and I never hit play. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Must be Wednesday. Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning again for Instagram. My name is Jennifer Waters. Welcome to Wednesday morning. I'm here to talk about how to repair your endocrine system, in particular the ovaries. So the number one thing that women are diagnosed with these days in the fertility clinic at CMY Fertility is PCOS. Barbara Flynn. I'm so sorry, Barbara. That is awful. Oh, dear. That's a real challenge, Barbara. I want you to email me through my website, jenniferwaters.net, and we're going to talk about that, okay? There's many types of miscarriage, and that is one, and that is really difficult thing to go through. I'm very sorry. Recurring pregnancy loss is my specialty. It's something I've done a very deep dive into, and I have a lot to say about this topic that I wanted to talk about today, about how do we wake up the ovaries, is really important no matter what you've been diagnosed with in the fertility world, whether it's hypothyroid, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, endometriosis. It doesn't matter. What matters is that we give your endocrine glands the hormone making nutrients that they need to produce hormones, right? Your ovaries want to produce hormones. That is their part-time job. Oh, we can do a lot for that. How do we wake them up? So maybe it's because I'm a Pisces, and we have the symbol of the Pisces is two fish swimming in opposite directions. So they really should be facing in the same direction. What I do is I combine two things at once to maximize your outcomes. I include light therapy in all of my treatment protocols. Why? Because we're bypassing the gut. We're going directly into the blood. We can fix your cells, the way your cells are reproducing, the way your cells are releasing ATP through the mitochondria. This is the energy. Remember, folliculogenesis, to create an egg to come out of the follicle, requires a lot of energy. Right? And most of us don't have enough energy, or we have the wrong kind of energy. We have that adrenaline dominance energy that I was just rambling on about. So we need that cellular energy to produce the ATP. So we can use light for that. And there's different kinds of light. Everybody's been emailing me about they have this kind of light and that. And it doesn't matter what kind of light. Light is going to help you. Would I prefer that you use the InLight system, which is what I use? Well, yes, because I know the most about that. It's a pad-based system. We put those pads right on the body. If you cannot find a practitioner near you, then what you can do every day is the patching, right? I love these patches. You stick them on over your ovaries, and you are beginning to wake up your ovaries to do what they were designed to do, which is to produce hormones. So these patches, it's a longer conversation about how do they help your endocrine system. But I've got some very good testimonials. One of them is going to be for you, Barbara Flynn, to assist you in that. And should I just do IVF? Jessica, I want you to email me, dear, because I need to know a little bit more about your situation before I answer that question. So I only have one more minute here, and then maybe I can, Stephanie, you can go to my website and get a link there, okay? And then give me a call if you want, and we can discuss what would be the best for you. So when you combine light therapy with hormone-making nutrients, which are not synthetic vitamins, folks, I don't want you taking synthetic isolated nutrients. They are acting as drugs in the body. There's a time and a place for those drugs. But okay, good. I just got a text that my 11:45 is running late. So that's good news for us. So I can get into this a little bit. Good. I'm great. Justine, that's wonderful. So the ovarian bloom, those are the hormone making nutrients. And yes, Kayla, you can buy this thing online through my website. Okay, so I'm going to put in here jenniferwaters.net, and I will tell you the one that you need, or I can help you to find a practitioner near you. So one option is you find a practitioner and go for sessions. The other option is possibly you rent a system leading up to your retrieval or transfer. The other option is you buy your own unit and you use it at home throughout the day. Destiny, you can go to my website, jenniferwaters.net, and then there's a link there. And I want to make sure that you're getting the right things. On my website under free resources, there's some really nice guides that can show you exactly where to put these patches and what you need. And I can help you decide. This is a short-term solution, right? Once you repair your ovaries, they're good to go. Unless you have a real structural issue, and then we need to work on that in a little bit different way. But people ask me all the time, well, how long do I need to do this so-called protocol? As long as it takes to get your glands functioning together. So let's say that your ovaries, you have PCOS, and your thyroid is underactive also. So they do work together, right? None of the glands are working on their own. Once we get your ovaries doing the best that they possibly can, guess what's going to happen? Most likely your thyroid is also going to improve. Each of the glands of your endocrine system has its own hormone making nutrient. So the nutrient for the ovaries is vitamin E, not synthetic tocopherols or one of the tocopherols, which they're calling vitamin E, not that. I want you to do a whole food based vitamin E complex. Remember, vitamins are synergistic complexes that the body can easily absorb, right? So if you're seeing on a label that something that you're taking has 500 milligrams or 1,000 IUs of something, that means this product has been created for the label, because that's what the FDA wants, labeling. That has nothing to do with how your body is absorbing and utilizing these nutrients. So honestly, the best form of vitamin E complex is wheat germ oil. It's cheap, it's gluten-free. I'm sure Dr. Kiltz will like it because although it comes from a grain, it is the fat. It is the essence of the plant. It's the fat part, and it's going to help the ovaries produce the progesterone and estrogen that they are designed to do. So I think this is of huge benefit if you're doing IVF or IUI, even if you're taking the drugs, the progesterone shots, you're taking estrogen. What can happen is when you stop taking them, right? Usually around 10 weeks, 12 weeks, right? The ovaries are now being recruited to do a job that they haven't been supported to do. Does that make sense? This is my personal observation. This is what I personally think happens. You go off the drugs, it's a little bit of a rebound, and your ovaries are like, wow, we've been on vacation and now you just want us to start working. How are we going to start working unless we have those important nutrients? So when we combine the light with the nutrients, bam, now you are going to get results. And what I recommend is that you commit to doing this for 1, 3, 6, or 9 months, okay? Depending on where you're at, your age, how many retrievals you've had, how many transfers, or whatever is going on with you, we can decide. 3 is kind of the magic number. 3 months to make a bigger change, right? That's the whole discussion in improving egg quality. Can you do it? Yes. If so, how long? 3 months, basically, from egg to ovulation, right? So that's a good time commitment if you have that. Now, if you've already had your transfer and you're thinking, oh boy, what can I do now? It's not too late to start. I want you to just jump right in and start doing this. Again, if you visit my website, jenniferwaters.net, under free resources, I've got some PDFs there for you to look at, and the nutrient that's connected to each of the glands, right? So it really is that simple. I think the endocrine system, doctors, naturopaths, functional medicine doctors, they love to make everything complicated, right? And it is a complex feedback loop. It's an interdependent loop. And so that can become complex. However, it doesn't have to be. When you understand what the thyroid needs to function, which is protein-bound iodine, and when you start giving your gland that protein-bound iodine, guess what? It becomes functioning again. So I've seen it happen over and over and over. So go ahead and visit the free resources on my website, jenniferwaters.net. Email me if you have questions. We can talk more about purification, detoxification, and the endocrine system. Oh, thank you. String follow Jessica. Yeah, jenniferwaters.net. I'm sorry, I'm not doing a very good job at this, putting it in there. So, the gut is problematic. We all take supplements. I do too. I've got a whole bunch here, and I've been a pill popper from way back. And I want you to think of the supplements that you're taking as just simply bridging the nutritional gap. Okay. So that's what we should be doing, bridging the nutritional gap with pills that we're taking. And for sure, the ovarian bloom is doing that. So when it comes to repairing our endocrine system or our glands, our organs, the liver, the stomach, the spleen, I want you to think of bypassing the gut and going directly into the cellular level. And this is why I love light therapy. The gut is problematic, right? It's got dysbiosis. We have candida. We don't have enough stomach acid. It's hard to digest. We've got all kinds of things going on. A lot of people have E. coli, a lot of things. And so when we just start throwing in a lot of pills into that soup called our digestive system, it's not obvious what we're going to be breaking down and what we're going to be absorbing. And if you're taking synthetic vitamins, I don't think you're absorbing much. And if you are, I really don't believe it's that beneficial, honestly. So you want to look for whole food vitamin supplementation to bridge the nutritional gap. And then let's talk about our options for repairing the cells, right? Our whole body is a collection of cells. And we have specialized cells in the thyroid, specialized cells in the thymus, highly specialized cells in the ovaries. The ovaries actually have more mitochondria in the cells there than any other cells in your whole body. And so this is why we literally can wake up your ovaries with light. So this is one of the kinds of light that I use. This is the glutathione LifeWave patch, and this is on my website. Glutathione is, I call her the queen of antioxidants. And that's a whole nother conversation that we could do, kind of dissect that whole antioxidant conversation. But It is a part of every single cell in your body. It's highly indicated if you have had pregnancy loss. So that makes it very safe to use at any time during your fertility journey. And it will prevent, it has a protective mechanism to prevent pregnancy loss. So, so what happens when you use light on the body? You're waking up your cells to produce these nutrients on their own. So, Stringfellow Jessica, that is a really good point. You're allergic to glutathione. You know what? I don't think so. I bet you're allergic to synthetically derived glutathione liposomal supplements or IV infusions, right? Which probably everybody should be. It can be I don't want to say toxic, but it doesn't taste good. And when you take it orally, the half-life is 5 minutes. That's it. So when you use the patches, you're increasing your body's own glutathione naturally, endogenously, meaning inside. Now we're getting our cells to produce it. So you can't be allergic to it because your body's making it. It would be like saying, oh, I'm allergic to progesterone. No, you're allergic to synthetic progesterone. You're not allergic to anything that the body is going to create on its own, unless it's an internal, toxin, which certainly we do create those. Those endogenous toxins need to be dealt with, but that's another conversation. So, Sarah, the patches are good for repairing your cells, getting cellular functioning to do what they were designed to do, right? So what can happen is nitric oxide gets jammed up in the mitochondria, and that makes the cell kind of toxic, right? So our cells aren't functioning well. So then we throw in a bunch of supplements, we go on these extreme diets, whatever it is that we're doing, and things don't really function that well unless you're really healthy to begin with. Once you start repairing your cells, you kind of detoxify and drain the cells. Now you are really able to absorb the nutrients that you're taking. You want to utilize everything that you eat. Think of every meal as a nutrient dense pack of, food. Nutrient dense nutrition. Every time you eat, that's how I want you to think about it. And the more fat and protein you can have, the better, as long as your gallbladder is working well. Sarah, I want you to go to my website, jenniferwaters.net, and you'll find information there. So when we use the patches, we create an endogenous change. We have different patches for different things. My favorite is the YH Trio because it's getting the body to produce the anti-aging peptides. Peptide science is in. It's very interesting. There's a lot of cool things. That's wonderful. Most people are doing injections of these peptides, and that can be helpful for short term. But what happens after the injection wears off? It probably has a 6-hour half-life maximum. So the next day after this injection, what happens? The body goes back to ground zero where it was. When you wake up the ovaries to do what they were designed to do with light, then they're good to go, right? So after you stop taking the progesterone and oil shots, or however you're doing the progesterone, when you combine it with light, the ovaries wake up and then they start producing their own hormones. You got it? It's really that simple. I want you to think of it as simple. You just have to have the key elements to wake up all the glands. And why not? You will never regret repairing your endocrine system. It's the first system to reflect a nutritional imbalance in the body. How many young women are here right now that you were put on the pill when you were 12 or 14 because you had bad periods, headaches, skin issues, acne, whatever it is, right? So that was the body telling you there's something missing here. So unfortunately, a lot of, Beliza, sorry, I'm not pronouncing that right. Right, exactly. That's the question. Light is light. Now remember, lights began with the sun. That's the original light therapy. There's all different kinds of light now. We have LED light and panels and pads. All of that works. Right now, I'm talking about this patch. This is not, there's nothing transdermal on this patch. So rather than having the source of light come from the external coming in, like the sun, these patches are like little solar panels, and they are utilizing, taking advantage of your light. We know our DNA, actually, we have proof that our DNA is emitting light. But in this case, we're talking about the near infrared, the heat that's coming off your body. We are capturing and activating the structures on this patch to get the body to create its own glutathione. Isn't that cool? So we can patch on right over the ovaries. So I have some videos on my Instagram account that I've been creating. And if I could remember my name on Instagram, I could send you there, but I don't remember. You should be able to find me. If you put in Waters Light or Jennifer Waters, you'll see some videos. Maybe I can post them here. I'll ask Dr. Kiltz. All right, folks, I have to go. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. This is my absolute favorite conversation. You're never bothering me. And I love questions. So bring it on. All right, everybody, take care. Take care of yourself so that you can take care of others.